This is London.
Take you now to London.
This is London.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to LDN Capital TV. We've got some great matchups for you as always this week. Coming up in the hour we'll see the return of the superstar Leroy Kincaid to LDN as he goes toe to toe with the Bombay Dream, Bollywood's own Ross Jordan. Before that, the LDN British Tag Team trophies are on the line as Project Future defend the titles they've held for over a year against the #1 contenders Chris Wyld and Danny Williams. And in the London Eye, we'll have news on the fallout from last week's enormous 6-man tag team match, which featured the return to the ring of the legendary Kendo Nagasaki. But right now, let's head to ringside and join our man who calls the matches, Mr. TV, John Atkins.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is set for 1 fall, and it's for the LDN Tag Team Championship. Introducing first the champions, hailing from Broxbourne in Hertfordshire at a total combined weight of 26.5 stone. Ricardo Young, Bobby Hostile, Project Future.
Hello there fans, and welcome to LDN Capital TV right here on the Fight Network, the only British wrestling TV show on television anywhere in the world today. And we are kicking things off with a tag team title defense. Making their way to the ring, the team of Ricardo Young and Bobby Hostile, the LDN British Tag Team Champions, Project Future. Fans, this team have been LDN Tag Team Champions for over a year. They have been very dominant champions, and we have seen a complete 180 in their whole attitude towards the fans and towards the wrestling business as a whole. They have become very self-centered, arrogant, deceitful individuals. But tonight they are going to have their hands full as they defend those championship trophies against the team of Chris Wyld and Danny Williams. And this is a very personal match indeed, because they attack Danny Williams backstage just before Christmas, and this is his first time back in the ring. This is going to be a very emotional moment indeed for Danny Williams.
The team of Chris Wyld and Danny Williams.
And there they come, making their way to the ring. The team Chris Wyld and Danny Williams. And As I said, we haven't seen Danny Williams since before Christmas due to the severity of the attack dished out by Project Future late last year. And I don't know if it's my imagination, but he looks to be back and bigger than ever. He is in great shape, but can he still go in the ring? We will find out. The team of Wyld and Williams were doing so well late last year. They seem to have such great chemistry. And indeed, they came very close to unseating Project Future for the tag team title on a couple of occasions, even defeating Project Future in a non-title matchup. And I think that Ricardo Young and Bobby Hotstyle thought they were getting too close for comfort, and so they took out Danny Williams. And they beat him absolutely senseless in an assault that bordered on the criminal. We saw horrific footage of Williams the next day. He was battered black and blue. He received a number of stitches. You can see he is still wearing that headband. I believe he will have permanent scarring. Nonetheless, he is back in the ring. He is back here at LDN, and he is wrestling here tonight on Capital TV for the Tag Team Championships with Chris Wyld, and they're getting off to a flying start. For some reason, the team of Wyld and Williams just had great chemistry together, like great tag teams do. Wyld and Williams both very accomplished, well, certainly Chris Wyld, a very accomplished wrestler in his own right. Williams, a very promising young rookie, but somehow the sum of the whole greater than, oh my goodness, over the top. Danny Williams just launched his own partner over the top rope and took out both members of Project Future. Incredible strength there from Williams. I said he looked bigger than ever. He has clearly been working out very hard indeed to get back into fighting shape for his big return match here on Capital TV this week. And what a match. They defeated the tag team champions last year in non-title competition, but here this week on Capital TV, the trophies, they are on the line. We could see a title change, but Project Future have held on to those trophies for over 12 months. And even then, they only lost them very briefly. Project Future have been perennial tag team champions or #1 contenders since the very start of LDN. There have only been a number of weeks in the whole history of LDN on television that Project Future have not been the tag team champions. But if any team can unseat them, we know for a fact it is Wyld and Williams, because Wyld and Williams did beat them. Chris Wyld beat them on his own in a handicap match. But Williams still coming off a very serious injury. He has spent a lot of time in the gym getting back into shape. But will he have any ring rust? You can get into as great a shape as you like. You can build up your muscles, you can improve your cardiovascular conditioning, but there is no substitute for in-ring experience. And that is something that Danny Williams has had none of since his horrific injuries late in 2007. The arrogance of Project Future never failing to astound me. But they have been tag team champions for over a year. They have got a lot to be arrogant about, you could argue. Ricardo Young and Bobby Hostile, longtime friends. And in comes Bobby Hostile now, taking on Chris Wyld. And Chris Wyld is a man with so much potential. Indeed, many moons ago, I actually managed Wyld. And I can tell you, the man has got all the tools to be a big star in British wrestling. Yet he has never held a championship here in LDN. So much raw talent and pure athletic ability. But he has never held gold. He has never held gold here in LDN. Will he hold it tonight? Nice takedown. Holds on to the left arm. Bobby Hostile in trouble. Referee Chris Roberts checking the shoulders. Not on the mat. They weren't on the mat, so Wyld helps Hostile up and changes tack. Gets caught by the ankle. And in the blink of an eye, Bobby Hostile on the offensive. And fans, what a show we have got here this week on Capital TV. Because coming up later in the hour, we have got the debut of Leroy Kincaid. And you talk about superstars. Fans, Leroy Kincaid is a superstar. This man has done it all in wrestling.
These are dangerous days.
Still to come, the debut of Leroy Kincaid, but right now we are seeing the tag team championships being defended. The trophies are on the line. Quick tags between Wyld and Williams. Wyld now the legal man against Hostile. There's a leapfrog. Drop kick there from Williams. Wyld comes off the ropes, drops an elbow into the heart of Bobby Hostile. And now Project Future look like they might be in trouble. They have held on to the British Tag Team trophies for over 12 months. But a leg drop from Chris Wyld, and things might be about to change. Wyld hooks the leg, big suplex into a bridge. There's a pin, just a 2. And Ricardo Young on the outside, looking on in terror. And I think for the first time, Project Future finally realising exactly what's at stake here. Williams ducks the elbow. Didn't see that one coming, though. Project Future now with the tag. Ricardo Young, the legal man. He comes off the top. Double axe handle. And a 2 count there. Williams still able to kick out. It's an arrogant cover from Project Future. You've just got to look at the size of Danny Williams to know you're not going to hold him down for 3 without hooking the leg. Another arrogant cover, barely putting any weight on the body of Williams at all. Float over into another cover. And again, Ricardo Young getting absolutely furious, but it's his own fault. He's going to need to do a lot more than that to put away Wyld and Williams, and he should know better than anyone. And now the double team there from Project Future. And they really are a pair of cretins, in my opinion. There's a chokehold. Come on, referee. Get that in, get out, get that hold broken. Bobby Hostile with an arrogant boot to the face. Blows to the side of the head. Snapmare there from Bobby. Tags in his partner, Ricardo Young. And Project Future have slowed the pace of this matchup right down. Wyld and Williams came out here tonight, all guns are blazing. They wanted to put their best foot forward. They came out with high-flying moves. They were just all over Project Future, but Project Future slowed it down. They brought it down to their pace. And that was a great double team maneuver there by Project Future. And that might be enough to put him away. There's a cover. Ricardo Young wisely rolled Danny Williams away from his own tag team partner so he couldn't tag in Chris Wyld. But the time he spent rolling him back to his corner may have been the difference between a 2 count and a 3 count. Nice move there from Williams. Williams looking for a second wind. Might just get the tag. He is crawling over to Wyld, and Wyld's in, but so is Hostile. Wyld, the fresher man, though, gets the upper hand on Hostile, turns his attentions to Ricardo Young, picks him up, and what is he going to do? A full-weight slam, perfectly executed. And back up to both feet. Drops the leg across the neck and throat of Ricardo. Hoists him in the air. Backbreaker. Wyld absolutely on fire. Showing why he is one of the top talents in the UK today. Big leg drop. Drop kick, excuse me. And now Project Future, they are in trouble. The tag disallowed. Williams a little eager. Now it's legal. In comes Williams. Unbelievable strength. A knee drop assisted powerbomb. And Williams, the legal man, there's a cover. The hook, the leg, couldn't quite hook the leg in time. And Ricardo Young kicks out. Just a 2 count. But they were as close as they have been in months to defeating Project Future. Wyld goes for the float over there. And Ricardo Young had that move well scouted. He got the knees up. And Chris Wyld landed rib first into the knees of Ricardo Young. In comes Bobby Hostile. And the Tosseridge fans solidly behind Chris Wyld. But how much damage was done to the midsection? Referee Chris Wyld tied up there with the over-eager Danny Williams. And while Chris Roberts' back was turned, the double teaming ensued from Project Future. There's a tag. Back and forth tags now from Project Future. And this has been a high-octane match, full of excitement. A real back and forth contest. And another great double team move there from Project Future. Could have been enough, but not quite. There's still fight left in Chris Wyld yet. And this is a great tag team encounter. Project Future have held the tag team championship for over a year. I don't think they're going to want to lose it anytime soon. But they will not meet a more determined young combination than Chris Wyld and Danny Williams. Two men who just complement each other so well in the ring. The experience of Wyld, the enthusiasm of Danny Williams, sometimes it gets the better of him. But if Wyld can just tame his partner somewhat, the sky is the limit for these two young people. As I said earlier, Chris Wyld has never held a championship here in LDN. He would dearly love to take home those tag team trophies here tonight. The British Tag Team Championship, the most important tag team title in the United Kingdom. If you are serious about tag team wrestling in England, or indeed anywhere in the UK, then you are going to want to get yourself to LDN and you are going to want to challenge for those trophies. It is the title that means more to tag team wrestling in this country than any other belt or trophy. It is a prestigious championship. It is defended week in and week out on worldwide television. If you are the LDN British Tag Team Champion, it means exposure. It means you are the best team in the country. And Wyld and Williams want those trophies more than anything in the world today. Williams running Wyld now on Project Future. But Bobby Hostile turns things around. A lackadaisical cover again from Ricardo Young. He doesn't seem to be learning anything from his mistakes. Come on, Roberts, get one of these men out of there. Blatant double teaming. But Williams holds onto the ropes, and he back body drops Bobby Hostile out of the ring. Ricardo Young, the clothesline stop. Chris Roberts goes down. Williams plants Ricardo into the mat. 1, 2, 3. We should have new champions. But Danny Williams just accidentally clotheslined Chris Roberts, and the referee is down.
These are dangerous days.
The referee is down, and this is such a bad break for Wyld and Williams. A big boot there now from Ricardo Young. Wyld comes into the ring. And Wyld's had all he can stand, and he power slams Ricardo Young with a vengeance. Wyld now going up top. Fame for that leg drop off the top, and he hits it. But the referee's still down. The referee's still down. Chris Wyld destroying Ricardo Young. Bobby Hostile virtually out cold on the apron. But he's finding his way back up to his feet. Down he goes again. Hostile on the outside. Wyld taking care of Hostile. Williams with the cover on Young. The referee's back up. It's a 1, it's a 2, it's a 3, and we've got new champions. We have got new tag team champions, and it is Chris Wyld and Danny Williams. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. No team is more deserving. No team has worked harder. New British Tag Team Champions here on LDN Capital TV. Danny Williams and Chris Wyld. The first title for either man here in LDN. Take a look at the replay here. Chris Wyld comes off the top with his famous leg drop. Ricardo Young's not going anywhere. 1, 2, 3, the referee's back up. Wyld takes care of Bobby Young on the outside. Williams rolls over to Young. Referee Chris Roberts finally. He's groggy, but he's still got enough left to make the count. And 3 seconds later, we have got new tag team champions. And their names are Chris Wyld and Danny Williams. And they are going to be celebrating long and hard tonight. They're already signing autographs. The crowd here at Totteridge are going wild. It's a great way to kick off Capital TV this week. And we have still got the debut of Leroy Kincaid to come. Fans, this is a wild hour of wrestling, and we are so glad you could join us for it. But not half as glad as Chris Wyld and Danny Williams are going to be. New tag team champions, and coming up later, the debut of Leroy Kincaid.
Hello, I'm Fiona Fox and welcome to the London Eye. First things first, congratulations to the new LDN British Tag Team Champions Chris Wyld and Danny Williams. We look forward to bringing you their title defences right here on Capital TV in the weeks to come. And talking of champions, one champion in particular was not happy about the events that transpired last week here on Capital TV. As you'll all have seen, last week saw the historic return to the ring of British legend Kendo Nagasaki. And while Nagasaki proved to be just as dangerous in the ring as he's ever been, he also showed that he and his entourage can be just as devious outside of the squared circle.
We would gladly end all this treachery and insolence in one match, but where is Lloyd Ryan? Where is Damian Ryan? Brookside, it seems your old allies are cowards and they have deserted you. But why do you think you can change the contract? You know very well that we, under the terms of the contract, must approve your team. And we do not approve of you parachuting in this inappropriate substitute. We suggest that you go and find an alternative selection of wrestlers from which we will choose your team. We choose him.
Well, the sword of Nagasaki pointed directly at Hakan there.
LDN British champion Yorgos Christopoulos was set to join Robbie Brookside and Phil Powers to take on Nagasaki and his team last week, when at the last minute Nagasaki's manager, Atlantis Cronus Scott, decided that the match would not go ahead unless Yorgos was replaced with the far less experienced wrestler Hakan. Faced with little choice, Yorgos returned to the dressing room, but sources close to the champion say he was seething. Not just due to being replaced in the match, but also due to the beating that Nagasaki administered on the young Hakan. Hakan was destroyed in a sickening display of violence and spent 2 nights in a local hospital following the match for observation.
And Nagasaki now in the ring for the first time in a decade. The first time in a decade, the legend of Nagasaki. But my goodness. And he has thrown Hakan to the outside. Threw Hakan clean over the top rope, and his power slammed him on the ringside table. I can't believe this. He is picking up the table, and he's just slammed it over the head of Hakan. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. And he smashed the chair. Steve Linton can't believe what he is seeing. Kendo Nagasaki beating up a man, I dare say, less than half his age. Nagasaki absolutely dominating the youngster. And you can see he has removed one of the ringside turnbuckle covers. And I'm sure he'll be looking forward to taking advantage of that later in the contest. Sends out Hakan again to the outside, straight over the top rope. And this time Hakan missing the table and landing on the hard wooden floor, and Power on the outside, continuing the onslaught. The arms are hooked. Oh my goodness, a double underarm suplex, and a cover, a pinfall there from Kendo Nagasaki.
And the first person to visit Hakan in the hospital, none other than the British champion Yorgos. It seems that Nagasaki has left a wake of unsatisfied customers in his path since his return last week. As alongside Hakan and Yorgos, Nagasaki still has unfinished business with Robbie Brookside and Phil Powers. Let's hope his ever-present security team are at full strength when Nagasaki returns to LDN for a series of personal appearances over the next couple of months. That's all for this week's London Eye, but coming up very shortly is our main event, the in-ring debut of the new superstar, Leroy Kincaid.
match is going to be something very special indeed. Making his way to the ring now from Bollywood, Ross Jordan, the Bombay Dream. And we have seen plenty of Jordan in recent weeks and months here on LDN. After an extended sabbatical from the sport, he is back in LDN and he is back in a big way. But he is going to have his hands full tonight as we see the debut of the newest superstar here in LDN, Leroy Kincaid.
Ladies and gentlemen, panic over because Ross Jordan is here now to make your lives just that little bit better than it is already. I know you're all poor. I know you're uneducated. I know you're all extremely ugly. And to be honest, you live in a place which may as well be the toilet of North London.
Totteridge is a beautiful town.
But don't worry, because for the next few minutes, your lives will be improved tenfold. Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, making his LDN debut, hailing from Maidstone, Kent, this is Leroy Kincaid.
Fans, the roof is just about to blow off the place. Take a look at this young man, the future of LDN. He is a huge superstar. The man has wrestled around the world. He has wrestled around the UK, but he is making his home right here in LDN, and he is going to be huge. I have followed this young man's career for the past 5 or 6 years, and he can do it all. Believe me, he is the next big thing. He can fly high. He is a powerhouse. He is a dynamic, charismatic individual. And most importantly of all, he can wrestle. He has wrestled on the biggest stage there is to wrestle.
My opponent was supposed to be a midget. Who's that?
Well, Jordan clearly hasn't read his contract very clearly. If he was expecting an easy night here tonight, he's got another thing coming. Because Kincaid is going to be looking to make a big splash here on his LDN debut. Kincaid making his home here in LDN, and we are delighted to have him. I don't want to sell Ross Jordan short. Don't get me wrong, he is an accomplished athlete in his own right. A very accomplished flyweight competitor. But in recent weeks and months, he has become rather lazy, rather arrogant as well. Turning his back on the fans. Embracing his Bollywood roots, nothing wrong with that. But he is often given the impression that he wrestles simply for the extra paycheck, and he could always go back to his glittering movie career in Bollywood. And many of us here in LDN doubt the existence of that movie career very much. Nonetheless, Jordan acting like the big shot movie star. And he is not winning any fans over here tonight at Totteridge. And take a look at Leroy Kincaid. Pure, brute strength. Oh, a clean break, and it doesn't pay dividends because Jordan gets a thumb to the eye. And that might be the only way he's going to get the upper hand on Kincaid, and even that doesn't keep him down for long. Kincaid on fire. He caught Jordan in midair. Jordan landed hard on the base of his spine, and that might be all she wrote already. Kincaid might be looking to finish this one in record time. Here's a cover, the leg's hooked. And no, Jordan still has some pride, he kicks out. But what fire, what intensity shown by Leroy Kincaid. Such tenacity. He is going for a sleeper hold. He is hoping to render Ross Jordan unconscious. Might not have applied it completely though, because Jordan able to get back up to his feet. Leroy rolls through, grabs the left wrist, hoists Jordan into the air with one arm. What strength! One arm! He picked up Ross Jordan and just threw him down to the mat, landing hard on the back. And Jordan took him out by the knee. And a boot to the face for good measure. And as I was saying earlier in the contest, the only way Jordan is going to have a chance of slowing Kincaid down, he's going to need to use those thumbs to the eye. He's going to need to take out the legs, take out the knees, bring Kincaid back to down to the mat, eliminate the leverage advantage, slow down the behemoth. Jordan might not be able to match him for height or strength, but he might just be able to beat him when it comes to cunning and duplicity. And Jordan receiving a public warning, I believe, for using the rope as an offensive weapon. But it might well be his tactic, get a couple of public warnings, but if you can weaken Kincaid enough, it might be worth the public warning for a low blow or the chokehold. And I don't know if that was intentional or not, but well, I believe it must have been intentional. The cover of the turnbuckle became detached there. Chris Roberts is struggling valiantly to replace it, but Kincaid has had Jordan pinned for a number of seconds. And finally, Roberts returns to the action in the ring. And Jordan kicks out. And Chris Roberts finding himself in a difficult position there. He has to make sure the ring is safe enough for the wrestlers to compete in. But he has to be careful not to miss any of the action going on inside the squared circle at the same time. And on that occasion, Kincaid could have had the match won. Nonetheless, it was a judgment call by our official. And we have to support our referees. They do a fine job. Jordan comes off the top for the crossbody, gets caught in midair again by Kincaid. And a release, fall-away slam sends Jordan to the outside. Leroy Kincaid just threw Ross Jordan over his head and to the outside of the ring. I don't think we have seen that before in LDN. Kincaid looks ready to pounce. Jordan unaware, blissfully unaware. And Leroy Kincaid launched himself over the top rope to the outside. Talk about high flying, talk about dynamic. This man can do it all. He's a powerhouse, but he can fly. And Kincaid just leading Jordan around the ring, pounding down on the spine, whips him into the wall. And Jordan looks to be out on his feet almost. The lights are on, but I don't think anybody's at home. The referee trying to bring this one back into the ring. Kincaid just rolls Jordan back in. Elbow to the back. And again, Jordan has taken a lot of big shots to the spine after landing hard on his back in the early going to this contest. Big clothesline, that could be all. There's a cover. But the foot on the rope, the left foot of Ross Jordan, surely by luck as much as anything. I don't want to take too much away from Jordan. He's a veteran of the sport. He knows as much about ring positioning as anybody. But that had to be pure luck that he was able to get that left foot into the bottom rope and break up the pinfall. Nonetheless, a kick to the guts. And that boot to the midsection, Jordan able to turn things around. But by no means able to hold Kincaid down for the 3. And I suspect that kick to the midsection will have done a little more than temporarily slow down the monster Kincaid. Nonetheless, Jordan wasting a lot of time climbing up top. And he comes off and hits nothing but canvas. Kincaid long gone by the time Jordan launched himself off that top rope. And now Kincaid standing proudly on both feet. Jordan in trouble. Planted hard in the middle rope. And a beautiful short-arm clothesline from Kincaid, who holds on to Jordan, whips him into the ropes, and hits him with another big right arm. And now Jordan surely must be out of this one. Kincaid, he is just marking his man. He is stalking him. And this one has to be over. Jordan turns around and he hits a spear. A spear from Leroy Kincaid. Kincaid drags him back into the middle of the ring, hooks the leg, pulls him right back, and there's your winner, Leroy Kincaid. What a debut! What a debut! Ross Jordan absolutely out cold. Let's take a look at that. Jordan staggering on his feet, turns around, and he eats a spear from Leroy Kincaid. Kincaid with a big win here on Capital TV, a great debut, and we will see him again in just a couple of weeks' time. But a big win for Kincaid, an impressive debut. New tag team champions, congratulations to Chris Wyld and Danny Williams. And an impressive debut for Leroy Kincaid. Fans, we are just about out of time here on Capital TV, but we will see you next week, right here on the Fight Network.